What are the best three modifications you could do to your stock Charger or Challenger to get the build moving, to get a little extra horsepower, or to just have a baseline so that you could start modifying your car? Well, in my opinion, these are the three that I would start with, and I have started with it. Number one is a better flowing intake. Number two is a higher flowing exhaust setup. And number three is the tires. And I'll go on now I'll explain why you want this. Number one is the intake. You want cool air to funnel into your engine. And you don't want any restrictions either. When you put your foot on the pedal, you want cooler air, and you want the engine grabbing as much of it as possible. So on the Chargers, replace the air filter with a K&N. If you're a Challenger owner, go get a Hellcat air box, and you will be able to grab air through your front light lamp. And that is something that will help tremendously bring in cooler air, and it's almost like a ram air kind of setup. So try that out. And if you need help installing it or need a tip, go to RT Wasp, and he does an installation video on that. Now, with the upgraded intake, your engine is now grabbing more air, so you have to free up air going out of the engine, which is your exhaust. As you continue adding horsepower to your car, you can't have the exhaust bogging down the horsepower because it can't get the gases and the air out of the car, out of the engine. So a higher flowing exhaust setup is going to help you tremendously. Most people will cut off the resonators in the Chargers, Challengers, and replace the mufflers with higher flowing performance mufflers. That's the setup that I have. A lot of people go with the MagnaFlow, Borla, or Flowmasters. So those are really good options for you. And then the third would be tires. Now, a lot of people forget about tires, and it's something that you shouldn't forget about, because a lot of these Chargers and Challengers make a lot of horsepower that's getting wasted because they can't put it to the ground. You'll spin tires, you'll spin your tire, and again, you're just not getting the launches that you should. And so a upgraded, wider, stickier tire will help that out tremendously. It also helps with handling too. And it's a really solid foundation to build horsepower. You're freeing up the air into the engine, out of the engine, and you're putting better tires on the car so that as you continuously add horsepower, the car is able to handle that increased horsepower and put it to the ground. So that's my perspective on the three best modifications you could do right out of the gate for your Charger or Challenger.